Hello and welcome to this Dawn Busters Taste Challenge. And I wanted to start at the top of the hour at 6 a.m. Central. But I got delayed with the eggs, the sausage, the cheese, the jalapeno pepper, all fried up. Okay, and then the Dave's Insanity sauce was making my whole face sweat. Anyway, that put me back. Got the first glint of sunlight, just the first glint of blue or whatever for this Dawn Busters. And today, well, we have some Remy VSOP, apparently introduced in 1980. Okay. Versus Sacred Bond from Christian Brothers, bonded brandy 100 proof. That's 80 proof, 100 proof. I've been saying 2016, but it might have been introduced in 2015. I'm not quite sure, but it's recent. And they don't have anything about it on the website, maybe a little news release, but nothing as far as the specifics. So I don't know how long this is going to be around. Okay, I was embarrassed because I did the Sacred Bond versus the Paul Masson VSOP. And it was probably a case of overconfidence, or I just wasn't, I'm making excuses like I wasn't focused or whatever. I don't know, I just screwed up and I got it wrong and I couldn't believe it. I said, oh, I ought to delete this. Because I had recorded it, you would have never known. But I said, no, that would be a crooked way to do it. You know, delete the taste challenges that I lose and only keep the ones I win. Nah, I'm not doing that. I'll just stop doing them all together before I start cheating. Okay. The Dave's Insanity sauce is insane. Okay, I'm almost finished with it. There's a little bit left. Sacred Bond, SB. Okay. We'll pour the Saint Remy first because it's the older brand in the dark brown bottle. They call it a black bottle on the website, but really it's very dark brown. I'm not sure that black glass can even be produced, but this is, with the monitor screen shining through it, is obviously dark brown. But in normal light, it looks black. Okay, same thing with that black bottle for the Beck Sapphire. It looks black. And they talked about how it took them years to develop it. But it's really dark brown. Now the Sacred Bond. Okay. They're both aged in oak barrels. I mean, it's very humid right now in October. Here we are, mid-October, and it's extremely warm to hot, even hot. And the humidity level is incredible. It's like a steam bath all day long in Louisiana. A lot of people up north tell me, I wish I was down there, you know, get away from this cold that we experience every winter. I don't know if you would like it, because you would just be sweating all the time, you know, it's like clinging to your skin. And then when we get cold weather that maybe is only in the 40s, it feels much colder because of the humidity. So you might prefer the dry cold, which doesn't feel so cold. Okay. This one is more golden and that one is more amber, but the differences are practically immaterial. Okay, it's like a gold amber. All right. Now, as far as the brandies that I have, the Sacred Bond, 100 proof. The Saint Remy from France. The Paul Masson from wherever, bottled in Kentucky. And the Christian Brothers VSOP from Kentucky. You see, they're aged in Kentucky, but they could be vented some, you know, they could be distilled somewhere else. Like this Sacred Bond is distilled and bottled. They give 2 locations, Parlier, California, and Bardstown, Kentucky. So they could have the eastern part of the U.S. is coming from Kentucky, the west coast from Parlier. But the volume is so low for that. I actually haven't talked to anyone online that ever saw it. Now, my friend David saw it because I told him where to buy it. But when I was on road trips, I never saw Sacred Bond. No. Now, I saw a lot of brandies that I don't see around here, like in Kentucky. But I couldn't buy. I mean, there had to be a limit. I couldn't just be buying. You know, I went crazy buying a lot of stuff as it was. Would I like to buy all of them? Yeah, I'd love to buy all of them, but usually got to get a 750 milliliter bottle. And it takes forever to drink, as evidenced by the fact that my cabinet is overwhelmed by liquor. You would say, oh, this guy here. It's just like you get in a frenzy and you want to buy them all because then you think, oh, if I don't, and I got burned too many times from not buying stuff and then going back and it was gone. Like with beer. And so now when I see something, I buy it because I'm going to drink it all anyway. All that stuff is good enough to drink. So it's not like beer. It's not going to go bad. You know, beer, you got to drink it. Generally, it's going to get stale. A friend of mine has some beer from years ago. German, just regular German beers. Somebody gave it to him, like a variety pack. And I said, I'm not going to drink that. This stuff's so stale. I said, you may as well pour it out. I said, why didn't you drink it? He said, I don't know. He's not really a drinker. Okay. Okay, already I know this is Saint Remy. Just from the smell, it's got that little turn fruit. Those French, oh, and I say that it's aged in French oak. And this one's aged in American white oak. I'm not sure if it's charred, but I suspect so. It's probably used bourbon barrels. It has a little bit of that. Yeah, you can kind of pick up on the charred wood and everything here. Oh, we have one viewer. Hello, one viewer. This is being broadcast all over the world. I thought we might have 200,000-300,000 people watching, but unfortunately we don't. Okay. It's minty. Alcohol in the nose, but it's more like a mint, you know. I think a lot of Americans would not be favorable towards these French brandies. The cognac, it's a little different. I don't know if you get the turn. Well, thinking about Courvoisier and Hennessy, you know, you kind of get the turn fruit a little bit. But the ones that are outside of cognac, so the aroma is not as good as the American, but the taste, it seems to catch up. All right, let's go with the Saint Remy. I know it's Saint Remy. Yeah, it's these French brandies. Even that Pierre Duchesne that I bought from Trader Joe's, I saw some of that Saturday. It had that spiced fruit taste, but the Pierre Duchesne was sort of like inferior. No surprise. Don't you notice most of Trader Joe's stuff is sort of like second rate? That's been my experience. Now, I mean, you get some beers, they're good. If they're coming from quality companies like Firestone Walker and all, but a lot of them are just the worst. They're just bad. Coming from Minhas. So I figured their brandies probably come from some, I call them outlaw distilleries. And honestly, the sherry, their Trader Joe's sherry, it's really it's coming from a company in Spain that apparently produces quality stuff. What's the name of it? It's like Patron. I can't remember, but I mean, you'll see it if you go to Trader Joe's. They have them at the bottom shelf, and they're $4.99 a bottle or $3.99. No, that Marsala was $3.99. I dread to try that. Then you say $4.99 for a bottle of sherry, or dry sherry, or cream sherry, or one of those other ones. Then you drink it. Then you say, oh, I tried that cream sherry from them. It was just not pleasant. So then I didn't buy the other ones. I said, oh, this stuff here, I don't understand this store. They're owned by Aldi. I don't really trade with them too much. I don't trade my money for their products. I did buy one beer, a red ale, hoppy red ale. We'll see. I don't know. I don't have a lot of confidence. The label looks nice. It still looks like a store brand, you know, but the label looks all right. Spiced bread. Make you choke a little bit. Spiced fruit, spiced candy, spiced something. I don't know. Almost like spiced liquor. It's a strange thing. There's no flavorings added to my knowledge. Sacred Bond. And you see, you say, no, I don't see, I'm not drinking it. Well, go get some. It's got that waxiness. And Dr. Dave, the beer professor, Dave in Cleveland, was saying, how you mean waxy? How can a beer be waxy? Some beers, but even more the liquor. This one has like a waxy taste, like it just reminds me of that chewing wax, which as a child I tried it a few times. I didn't like it. It was such a strange sensation, you know, and the taste. But you know, it's like a waxiness. The taste, it's the aroma and the flavor, all the experience when you're drinking it. It's got like that cost plus world market spice candle strangeness, but it's not a bad taste. It's just odd. I don't know how a bourbon drinker would take this, but it's kind of like more pleasant than bourbon, because bourbon is so harsh. Some of it's so woody and harsh. It's like, why do I want to drink wood? You know what? I mean, why is that some great? I mean, oh, it's so wonderful. It tastes like wood. It's so woody, like charred wood. Well, okay, I know about carbon. I don't know. I'm not trying to pass judgment on bourbon. I have so many left to drink and do taste challenges. It's just something, I don't know. Sometimes you'll notice if I'm doing a bourbon taste challenge, I'll take a sip and I'll make that face like, I don't know about this. But these are a little smoother and sweeter and more candy-like. Not to say that the bourbon isn't. The bourbons, they have a candy. Like I say, it tastes like candy to me, but it's a little harsh and a little too woody, like wood candy. Maybe I'm more of a blended whiskey person. Another viewer might say, because you're weak. You're weak. A man drinks bourbon. A he-man, a macho man. You're a little weak, prissy, blended whiskey person. I don't know about that, because that just is a personal taste preference. "35 years ago, bourbon was looked down upon as like a Joe's six-pack beer type thing. You know what I mean? Like a analogous to drinking Miller High Life with beer. You know what I mean? Like the respectable people didn't drink. I mean, classy people drink, you know, quality stuff, not bourbon. That's just corn liquor. Actually, it is corn liquor because it has to be 51% corn. So it is corn whiskey, mostly. Okay, enough rant and raving about bourbon. And I'm not against it. I am a fan of it, but I just have some qualms about it. Okay, you get it? I have some qualms about the brandy, but less qualms. You're not going to accuse me of engaging in anti-bourbonism. I'm not an anti-bourbonite, okay? Ooh, the burn in the right here, you know, like where the chest meets the throat, the burn is like, whoa, yang. Well, which one do I prefer? Yeah, it's a toss-up. They both have their positive attributes. They don't really have any negatives, except I say that turned fruit thing. Maybe that could be a negative. It's just a characteristic of those French. Somebody told me I know people that have gone to France, and they say, yeah, there's a lot of funny smells over there. A lot of things smell turned. Yeah, go walk in New Orleans in the French Quarter, and sometimes it doesn't smell so good. Okay, I think I prefer the Sacred Bond. It's a little cleaner. It's a little more heft to it. Now, right, I just complained about boldness for 15 minutes. Now I'm talking about I prefer it because it's bolder. But it doesn't beat it by much. And if I was buying these, I mean, I would get the Saint Remy because it's $15 a bottle as opposed to $25 a bottle. I'm not going to pay $10 more a bottle for something that's marginally better. Sorry, I'm not going to do it. Just like I'm not going to pay $24 for a bottle of Jack Daniels when I can get, you know, Jim Beam for $10 less. I mean, it's not any better, so why would I pay more? I mean, I can pay even $12 less and get Evan Williams, which, in my opinion, is arguably better than Jack Daniels. But I need to do the Black Label Taste Challenge coming up. I don't pay money for names, as evidence. Yeah, I don't buy Budweiser beer. Why? Because it's always 20% more expensive, but it's 1% better, maybe. All right. Okay, I'm calling. This is definitely Saint Remy. Yep, STR, Saint Remy. And this is Sacred Bond, SB. That was pleasant, mostly. So I sort of recouped from the disaster of 2 days ago, 3 days ago, 3 days ago, with the fiasco of comparing the Paul Masson VSOP with the Sacred Bond. Got it mixed up. Oh, well. But I'm going to make an excuse, say I was being careless. Okay, so that's my cover. So we come to the end of the brandy for a few years. Maybe in 4 years, God willing, I'll pick it up again because it's going to take that long to get through all the liquor in my cabinet. I'll tell you the truth right now. So it's going to be back to whiskey. You say, what about gin? I'm not buying any more gin. Well, unless I run across some obscure and bizarre brand like Country Club. Oh, I'm sorry, Clubhouse. Yeah, when I saw Clubhouse gin, then I could not resist. That homely little bottle. I said, oh, that's so quaint. In all the wrong ways. And, you know, I could run across some brandy that I wouldn't be able to resist because it would be so not right in every way. I'm a sucker for lowbrow, you know, but otherwise I don't think I'll be getting any. The whiskey, I've got such a huge stash. I have some of those whiskeys too, like those things that you just look at it and you say, this shouldn't exist. This shouldn't be. This is the thing that should not be. You know what I mean? This. First of all, it's coming from Florida. Oh yeah, Florida is well known for bourbon, right? Or some bizarre thing from Canada, like why is this even produced? Walmart cannot give it away. It's like, why did they even order it? So I can't resist those kind of things. You say, why don't you do major brands? You get a lot more views. I mean, you're over here doing, you know, Dr. Obscure whiskey, some brand nobody ever heard of. You could be doing Bushmills or Bullet or you know, something like Old Granddad 114. But you're swimming around in this, not the kiddie pool. You're swimming around in a weirdo pool with all this oddball stuff. I know. I guess I don't care about views. I mean, I care about views. I mean, I like, kind of stupid to get on YouTube and not care if people watch, right? Wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. But what I'm saying is, I'm not out here to get views. You know, like, oh yeah, I'm a hustler. You know, I'm not selling T-shirts. Like, no T-shirts. I'm not selling bottle openers. I'm not running one of those accounts where you can give me money. I don't pay out service to pull subscribers like some people do, and I don't care if they do that. I don't say, oh, you pay in a service to pull a crowd. I mean, that doesn't bother me. Only time it bothers me is when people brag about it. Like, look how many subscribers I've got. I've got over 30,000 subscribers. I know, well, you paid for them. I mean, the Beatles had 10,000 people at the airport when they arrived in New York in maybe 2,000 people at the airport when they arrived in New York in 1964. Yeah, but they paid for them to be there. You can get people to do things when you pay them. So a lot of these girls cheering where they say, who is the Beatles? Never heard of them. Oh, well, I got paid to come out here and scream. I'll do that. Oh, well. All right. So Saint Remy, the final verdict. Saint Remy versus Sacred Barn. Sacred Barn wins by a nose, but as far as a value, they both have high IEUs. The international enjoyment units for both is high, but I would go with Saint Remy as far as the bargain, because I'm not gonna, you know, I'm saying $15 for a thoroughly, almost not quite, almost thoroughly enjoyable brandy. $15. 90 miles. 90 miles. That's nothing, Michael. All right. And I'm not paying 20. I mean, yeah, it's worth it. I mean, you try it, you buy it once, you try, oh yeah, I got to try Sacred Barn. Oh, I'm a big shot. But $25 a bottle? I don't think so. Not the payoff doesn't match the. You can buy other 100 proof liquors that are arguably as good and a good deal cheaper. Okay. All right. Well, anyway, thanks for watching this video production, and onward, upward, like Southern Miss says, to the top.